The other thing we're doing of note right now is constructing a major facility, the Rowland Agricultural Center, where we're going to milk goats and make cheese. And we're doing that for a number of reasons. Number one is to connect people and kids to agriculture and where their food comes from. It's also, of course, part of the Vermont tradition to have a working agricultural landscape. But beyond that, what we want to do, we chose goats and goat cheese because it's sort of a niche agriculture, which is a little bit more probably where agriculture is headed in Vermont. Not everybody's going to go home and start a dairy herd, but you might come here and look at what we're doing on a very small amount of land, a very small portion of our 412 acres around goats and a cheese-making facility, and realize that even with a relatively small parcel of land, you can do something with agriculture. So that's sort of what we're about. We want to give people a lot to do, hands-on experiences, milking, trying their hand at milking goats, for instance, giving kids a real experience, wagon rides, and really try to bring Hildene to life.
Go, Bob.
Probably the most interesting problem that we had here on the project was our fire protection system. The original plans and specifications call for two huge fiberglass tanks, one 20,000 gallons, another 25,000 gallons, to be used as reservoirs for water in case there was a fire on the project. The depth of the excavation was going to be quite problematic, along with groundwater that we encountered as soon as we started excavation for the foundations. So we all kind of put our heads together and came up with the idea of putting a pond in, which we think will fit very nicely into the site, utilize the groundwater, and it's turning out to be a much less costly and more cost-effective solution to the problem to provide water for the sprinkler system. Yeah, one of the things that was interesting in the pond design is that you have to take into consideration the amount of ice that's going to be on the surface of the pond in the winter, and you want to minimize that amount, because for each foot of ice you have to deduct a certain amount of gallonage from the pond that's available for volume use in case there was a fire. So one of the solutions to that is, as part of the pond system, we're putting in a compressed air line which will feed into the pond itself and bubble the water, which minimizes the amount of ice. So the site contractor that we have working on the pond, Matt Waite, and specifically is his superintendent, Donald Ross, have been really good throughout the process in working on the pond. They've built a number of ponds in the area, and you start out with a basic idea and design on paper for the way that you wanted to build a project, but as we encountered little things along the way, it's been really great because they've made excellent suggestions that have been both cost effective and also help with the overall design of the pond project as we build it. And not only this has also happened in other areas of the project. Everybody has been very supportive of the project. Everybody's been very excited to work on the project, but they've also along the way made significant suggestions on different ways to do things that have been incorporated into the building, and the benefit of that is that the owner winds up with a lot better project in the end than possibly started out on paper, although the drawings that we have been working with have been excellent.